Hello, biological science SS1. Hello, endemic school. I'm very happy to be here live with you in our school farm. This time we are talking about prospect of agricultural mechanization. Now, prospect simply means the benefit, the benefit, the benefit, the benefit that we are going to get for mechanizing our farm. Now, this picture says it all. Now, after an overview of the picture, at the end of this class, watch this video to the end. At the end of this class, there are three videos that you are going to watch on mechanizing the planting part of uh, of the farming process. So, what is agricultural mechanization? So, please endeavor to watch to the end and then drop your questions on the WhatsApp group. Then, what is agricultural mechanization? This refers to the application of machinery and technology in farming operations such as land preparation, planting, harvesting, and processing. I do say that we are just going to demonstrate some of these machinery uh, only for the planting stage. So machinery and technology can be applied at the land preparation stage, at the harvesting stage, at the processing stage, the entire cycle of the agricultural process. Before mechanization, the term only machinery is being used for mechanization. But with the advent of technology, the advent of drones, the advent of AI, we have now come to see the inclusion of the concept of technology beyond machinery technology, because technology is now even taking the space of humans. Before, humans will handle the machineries, but now technology, with the advent of AI, is now even taking over some of the roles that humans were doing. Let's take a look at this picture. Yes, of course, inside there, we see a man handling this highly sophisticated machine. Probably it is at the planting stage. And there are also some other ones that are doing their job in there. And we have a drone up there capturing the soil, and giving feedback to what is going on. And now look at the results that have been found. The productivity with the assessment of the drone have increased by 50%, and water use has been reduced by 30%, and labor involvement in the entire process has been reduced by what? 80%. That means labor has been reduced by 80%, while productivity has been increased by what? 50%. That means more money and more yield for the agricultural sector. So we have talked about agricultural mechanization as the application. Application simply means use. Either you say as the application of machinery or technology in farming operations such as the land preparation, the planting, the harvesting, and the processing, or you use the word application or use. So in Nigeria and other developing nations, mechanization remains a critical component for transforming subsistence agriculture into commercial and enterprise agriculture. Subsistence is the one where an individual just go to his backyard and start farming with cutlass and hoe. That kind of farming cannot produce the type of product that we need. That kind of farming cannot feed the nation. That is why we want to look at the benefit or the prospect of using mechanized farming. The first benefit that we see is increased food production. increase food production. The subsistence farming can only provide food that can only fill up a wheelbarrow or at best a truck. But when we apply mechanization, it gives us what? Increased food production. So one of the most promising prospects of agricultural mechanization is the potential to boost food production significantly. So mechanized farming allow large areas of land to be cultivated within a shorter time, enabling the production of more food to meet the demand of growing population. So for example, tractors, planters, harvesters will both increase the speed, accuracy, and efficiency of the farm operation, reducing labor input while improving output. This is important to Nigeria, where food demand is rising due to population growth. Now, with mechanization, one machine alone can clear a land from here to Lagos, and one machine alone can do planting from here to Lagos with that large amount of expanse. And with technology coming in, some of these machines are now automated, in the sense that even AI are now controlling them. As we see earlier in the picture, they were even reducing human input by 80%, while increasing productivity by 50%. So, and how is productivity being increased? Is because a large amount of land is being cultivated. Not that it is just cultivated, the efficiency, the speed at which it is cultivated, the efficiency at which it is done. So which means within a week, a whole lot up to 10 acres of land can be cleared and planted. And this will be done in a very efficient way, cleaner than what humans can do. This increase the productivity, and that means more money to the farmer and more food to the to the people. So five great mechanized farmers can successfully feed an entire nation than 1 million of subsistence farmer who cannot clear 1 acre of land in a day. So number 2, we have enhanced employment opportunity in agricultural technology. Although mechanization reduced the need for manual labor on the farm, it opened a new employment opportunity in the agricultural technology sector. Skilled workers are needed to operate, maintain, and repair machines. Furthermore, the development of local manufacturing and assembly plants for agricultural machinery can create jobs for engineers, for technicians, for marketers, and the logistics person. So training center for machine operators and service technicians are also in demand. Thus, mechanization promotes a shift from unskilled labor to skilled labor. So the number 2 point is enhance employment opportunity in agri-tech industry. Yes, we said earlier that the number of people that are involved in farming reduced. That is loss of employment. But now we are not talking about enhanced employment opportunity. The employment that was cut off were poorly paid manual laborers, but it now increased highly paid and lucratively paid workers, like the engineers that will work on the machine, the technicians that will repair, then the businessmen that will market the machines, because someone will have to market the machine from where it is being produced. So that creates a new set of business and employment that we then logistic people that will be carrying machine part and the machine from one place to the other. Yes, the unpaid laborers are being reduced, which are in large quantity, but it now bring in well paid people in the agricultural world sector. So that's why the last point, of course, operators, those who will be operating the machines will be also be employed, and those who will service the technicians will also be. So we should not be afraid that manual and poorly paid laborers are being reduced by 80%, but it now bring in lucrative and well paid people, although few, but they will be well paid. So the mechanization promotes shift from unskilled laborers who are just in the farm, not as productive as machine, to skilled technician employment. Then number three is expansion of commercial agriculture. Mechanization provide the foundation for large-scale commercial agriculture. It enables farmers to cultivate extensive land area and manage them efficiently, making farming a profitable business venture rather than a subsistence activity. With improved access to credit and government support, more investors are likely to enter the agricultural sector, boosting food production and rural economic growth. Mechanization also make commercial agriculture attractive to young people, thereby reducing rural urban migration. So when AGRIC is being mechanized, now more land area, a larger land area can be cultivated and they will be managed effectively. What that means is that it will lead to higher productivity and more return of investment. So if a large expanse of land is planted, less number of people are used to do it, but yet it is more efficient, more products are being produced. That means that will mean more money. This will now attract people to come and invest in the agriculture, especially government, especially what government, especially with improved access to credit from government, more investors will now come in due to mechanization, because now agriculture is now very lucrative at the mechanization level, and this will now mean that youth, young people, can now also now come in to commercial agriculture, because they can now come in as engineers, as technicians, as marketers, as service to the technicians and the rest. So they are not coming in with hoe and cutlass to do manual physical labor. They are only coming in to press button, to rotate wheels and collect record and get heavily paid. And this will now make more people to move from urban area to rural area to take part in dignified and well-paid agriculture. This can only happen due to expansion of commercial agriculture, which only mechanization can do. So it will attract investors to invest with government support. Then number four prospect or benefit is promotion of agro-based industrial development. As agric become more mechanized, it increases the raw material supply to agro applied industry. This in turn encourage industrial growth, particularly in sectors such as food processing, textile production, feed manufacturing, and bio energy. Now, what does this mean? Majorly all the industry get their raw material from agric. So when these raw material are produced in large quantities, those industry can now see raw materials to advance their industrial development. So the development of the agriculture due to mechanization will now lead to more other industries. For example, an example here that is mentioned is food processing. For example, if tomatoes is being produced in large quantity due to mechanization into tons and tons of tomatoes industry, paste industry will now come in to now collect those raw material, turn them into tin tomatoes, turn them into sachet tomatoes, and then export. Those industry themselves will employ people. Another example that is mentioned here is where am I? Another is the textile industry. For example, if cotton is produced in large quantity, or animal skin is being produced in large quantity, you can see so many leather wears and leather shoes, or cotton, so many leather textile industry will also happen. Then feed manufacturing. Sometimes the leftover from some farm, for example, if in a plantain farm, the leftover, which is the back of the plantain, can be turned into feed for goat farming. So that mechanization producing those things in large quantity. Then bioenergy is the use of animal waste or plant waste to convert into energy for electricity and other use. So when mechanization is done, it lead to other agro-based means agriculture-based industry development, which we have just mentioned. Example, we have the food processing, the textile production, feed manufacturing, and bio energy. The consistent and high quality output from mechanized farms ensure steady supply of raw material for this industry, reducing the need for imports and supporting local economic development. Mechanization, therefore, is key driver to backward and forward linkage between agriculture and industry. So, if agricultural production is down, there will be backward development of other industry, because other industry need the agricultural raw material. But when mechanized farming is used and there's huge turnout of the agricultural farm produce and the waste from the farm produce, then it can now open up other industry. So if agriculture work, industrialization will what? Increase. If agriculture come down, industrialization will come down. That is what they mean by driver of backward and forward linkage. If agriculture is backward, industrialization will go backward. If agriculture go forward, industrialization will go forward. And this can be done when agriculture is being mechanized with technology, because remember our definition is application of machinery and technology in all farm operation. So this, we have handled the fourth one, which is promotion of agro-based industrial development. Now number 5 is improvement in agricultural export potential. Now this one is very straightforward. Mechanization enhances the quality, the quantity, and reliability of farm produce. This creates the opportunity for farmers to meet international standard and export requirement, particularly in products like cocoa, sesame, ginger, palm oil, and grain. Sesame is a plant that produces a very high quality oil for use in soup and other area. It is rich in so many ions, and the oil is a very good antioxidant. The tree grow in the plant can be grown in Africa and some other countries. So the point here is improvement in agriculture export potential. When you want to export goods to other countries, there are some international standard and export requirement that must be made. So fruit or produce that you use your bare hand to pick, wash, and package may not be able to meet those requirements. So by mechanizing post-harvest operations such as the grading, the sorting, the packaging, agricultural products can now be preserved for a longer period, and they can now be presented in a marketable condition. So this, if you now succeed in using post-harvest, using machine to harvest, grade them, wash them, package them, so that they will be in a place where pest and insect does not come and feast on them. At the end of the process, you can now have a well improved quality product that is packaged and clean and easily meet international and export requirement. And once that is done, you will now be able to get foreign exchange. If you sell to US, in fact, the international market, they will pay you in dollars, and that will be more development for the nation. So another prospect is advancement in research and innovation. The push for agricultural mechanization foster for scientific research and technological innovation. Research institutes and universities can develop oh, research. Okay, this third term. Okay, research. Where are we? We were okay. So the push for agriculture The push for agricultural mechanization foster scientific research and technological innovation. Research institutes and universities can develop machines and implement and adapt to local conditions. For example, swamping area, we need a swamp friendly tractor, uh, energy efficient threshers, and then solar powered irrigation system, right? For example, here in Nigeria, when farmers want um, uh, um, mechanization, it does not mean that all the machines need to be imported from abroad. It does not mean that all the machines need to be imported abroad. It does mean that they can be pushed for our universities and our institutes to develop machines and implement that are adapted to the needs of us. For example, those people in swamping area, we need a swamp friendly tractor. For example, there is what is called swamp boogie. A swamp boogie can walk on the river. It's a tractor with heavy duty, but yet it's walking on the river, moving away timber and all that. So that is only the engineers in those areas that can identify that need and adapt machineries to meet that need. Then we need energy efficient threshers, solar powered machine, because we don't have electricity working, and fuel is an issue that is going. So the price of diesel is going up. So um, these universities and institutes will help us to develop these machines. That is their role if they are empowered. So the local innovation not necessarily reduce dependent on foreign machinery, but they ensure that technology meet the specific need of Nigeria farmers. Mechanization tools stimulate creativity and progress in the agriculture, engineering, and environmental science. This can only come from and research and innovation. So number 7 is better resource management and environmental sustainability. Mechanized farming allow for more precise application of water, fertilizers, pesticides, minimizing waste, environmental degradation. So, for example, there is what is called the drip irrigation system. Unlike the conventional irrigation system, just allow water to just pour, wow, they rush out, gorge out, sometimes even causing flooding. The drip irrigation system control water in such a way that water provide what it is meant to provide. The irrigation is not meant to provide flooding. It's meant to just create moisture in the soil. So this help to reduce water use. That is why in the beginning picture we saw that the part of the analytics showed that water wastage was reduced by 30%. So then there is also what is called precision agriculture. With technology, with AI coming in and monitoring your input and techniques, it can apply input, right? It can aid you to apply input only where and when they are needed. So before, if you want to start farming, don't start farming just like every other person. You must look for ways to, if you are to do irrigation, meet your engineer and ask for drip irrigation. That is what you want. And if you want to provide things that are needed, for example, if you are doing good farming, you should now be, technology should be able to provide you the exact time and when protein is needed, these are needed, and machines will be the one that will supply those things in the right proportion to ensure that there is no what wastage. Not humans doing the supply. If they like, they provide. If they like, they don't provide. Thereby, you not being sure of the type of animal that you are going to produce at the exact time. In mechanized farming, everything is automated so that you know exactly when all the goats are going to be exactly of this age, and you know exactly what to do to prevent all the diseases. So mechanized farming support and this way you beyond managing the resources, you are also ensuring that what you are doing is environmental friendly. For example, the water now, if you are economical in water, you will prevent flooding. If you use precision agriculture, you make sure that you don't destroy everything that you come to meet on the soil. You just till exactly. That's why here they say that mechanization support conservation tilling. What is conservation tilling? What is tilling? Tilling is simply digging the ground. With conservation tilling, the you just, for example, with machine even doing the planting, with machine even doing the planting, you don't even need to dig the ground. Thereby, you will not affect the other biological organisms that are there. Machine just inject the crop inside the ground without digging the ground. That is what is called conservation tilling, where you just open exactly the tiny line that you need to insert your seed without using shovel to dig a whole huge mass of the soil. So you just put it in without affecting the ecosystem that you meet. And then it brings you another concept of agroforestry. Agroforestry is a type of agriculture that allows forests, trees to grow where you are planting your crops. They may grow in one line, crops will grow in the other line, so that you don't disrupt the forest ecosystem. Especially for those that are interested in animal farming, they can